1831, a Polish flag maker made the first flag of Majorca. In 1832, it was accepted as the flag of Maktorsha. The yellow strip in the flag was the true yellow river, as the Majorcans called it. It was yellow half of the year. The black shown along the edges of the yellow line was to represent the rocks. They were very dark. The Great Majorcan Empire was Majorca's largest form. It surrounded the entire Caspian Sea. The flag had a black castle in the middle of a gold circle. What do they represent? The castle shows a castle in the capital city. It was built in 1552. It's pretty old. In 1944, it was destroyed by Soviets. The gold circle is the gold plate that was on the ceiling of the castle. But what's the tricolor? It doesn't mean anything actually. The tricolor was put there to make it look nice. In July 7, 1943, the Soviet Union set foot on Majorcan land. They were invading. They started a war that would have Majorca last just a year. Majorca was now in the Soviet Union. Their flag had a red background, a hammer and sickle, and a large M. They soon got independence in 1966. In 1966, the modern flag was chosen. They called it the Grand Mayak. They were free from the Soviets, and unlike other flags they had, every one of the colors had meaning. The blue represents the color of the Maktortian army coat and the yellow was the gold shoulder patches. The black star was the black star that appeared on every piece of headwear in the Maktorsha army.
In 1831, a Polish flag maker named Waltaski K designed the first flag of Majorca. The yellow strip represents the Korok River. It famously turns yellow during the fall and winter. The black along the yellow represents the black rocks along the riverbed. The background represents nothing. It was just for a background. In 1931, Curse the Grand came to power and rapidly expanded Majorca. Majorca was no longer Maktorsha, it was the Great Majorcan Empire. The Great Majorcan Empire ruled the entire Caspian Sea. The flag had a black tower in the center of a gold circle. The actual castle is a castle called the Kivsk Tower in the Majorcan capital of Karlova. The gold circle is to represent the gold ceiling. The background again represents nothing at all. In 1943, a war broke out between Majorca and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union's greed for land and power led them to war. The Soviet Union was infamous for its Red Army. One of the strongest armies, if not the strongest. Majorca only held them back for a year. In 1944, their flag was changed to a depressing sign of the Soviet occupation. A red background, a hammer and sickle, and a large M. In 1966, they got their independence. The present Majorca flag is their best one. Everything represents something. The black star represents the black star on the helmets of Majorcan soldiers. The blue is for the blue coats of the first Majorcan soldiers, and the yellow was the golden shoulder patches. These colors make for a lovely flag.
This is Majorca. Majorca has a flag that contains blue, yellow and black. It has a blue and yellow tricolour with a black star. The blue represents the colour that the first Majorcan soldiers wore on their uniforms. The yellow represents the golden shoulder patches. The black star represents the black stars that were on their helmet. So the whole Grand Mayak is basically the military uniform of the first uniform of Majorca.
Majorca hasn't always been Majorca. In the 1800s it was called Maktorsha. It has a red, yellow and black flag. The black and yellow stripe represents the Korok River. In parts of the year it becomes yellow. And all year there are black rocks on the banks. The red is for a background. So the red represents nothing.
The Great Myazurkan Empire was the peak of Myazurka's land area. It was the Roman Empire of the Caspian Sea. The flag had a black castle to represent the Kisk Tower in Lahuk. The castle was in a yellow circle to represent the gold plate on the ceiling. Like before, the background represents nothing. But at least this one has a nicer background. A light blue and white tricolor.
In 1943, the Soviet Union invaded the Great Myazurkan Empire. The war ended with Soviet victory. Myazurka got a new flag. It was the Czechoslovakia flag with Russian Empire colors, with a hammer and sickle. If Russia realized the flag represented the Russian Empire, the creator would probably be imprisoned. But they never did. Myazurka got independence rather early after a violent revolution. They got independence in 1966, resulting in the very nice current flag.
In the end, the Myazurkan flag turned out great. I hope this flag sticks with Myazurka. This flag is great. It is their best one out of every one. This is the only flag they will need for today.